Welcome to Quick Chats with Jazzy, everybody. And today's video is another relationship video. And I just wanted to say, disclaimer, this is not a relationship channel. I do not give just relationship advice. I give advice on any topic. This is an opinionated podcast. My opinions, what I think, and I give advice. Okay? But to get into the video, as y'all can see by the title, it's called Having Friends While Being in a Relationship. So today's topic was a question for me to answer, and I'm gonna answer this question. Do you think or believe sometimes friends or people could be a little too overboard when it comes to being in a relationship and putting their relationship over a long-term friendship, and sometimes causing a rift between both? Or feel like you have to be in a romantic relationship in order for you to continue hanging around them? Okay, so here's the points that I want to talk about. Is there pressure into hanging around people that are in a relationship because now you're in one? What do I think about having friends while in a relationship? Is it appropriate to have friends of the opposite gender as a close friend? How can you manage your friendship? How can you manage your friendship from romantic relationships? Can your girl or a guy be friends with your friends? Is it appropriate for them to be following each other on social media and liking each other's pictures and commenting on each other's, content and pictures and stuff like that? Okay, so let's get in the video. Let me first answer the question that was requested. Okay, so I do think some people could be a little too, it's not even that they're being too overboard, is that they could really be, feeling the person almost to where they love the person or in love with the person. And I think when you really have feelings, like strong feelings for someone, or you really like in love with the person, so a lot of things that they do could be like more like, you could be blindsided by a lot of things that they do, a lot of things that they say. Like, they may say something to you that could be very like offensive or come off as like controlling, but they won't realize it until later on, where they stop and be like, wait, did I really just allow that? Like, it could be things that they allow a person to do to you, and you just be like, and you stay with them, but you won't realize in the beginning stages of the relationship, because in the beginning stage of the relationship is like you're in the honeymoon phase, I guess. You're just getting to know each other, you're getting the bubble guts, you're nervous around this person. Everything's all fresh and new. You're just now finding out about like the person, you're finding out what they likes and dislikes are, you're finding out pretty much everything about them. And it's still fresh and it's still new. So you're still gonna have that, lovey-dovey type of relationship, and everything they do in the beginning is gonna seem all right, because if you really feeling them, you're gonna be blindsided by everything that they're doing. You won't even realize it until it's pointed out to you by someone else. Like, it gotta be somebody who points it out, that like, they'd be like, yo, bro, or yo, girl, like, what are you doing? You're not realizing what's going on right now? You won't even realize it until months or a year or two or however long you won't realize it in for a very long time. You weren't even thinking clearly when you were around that person until you either leave that person alone or you get to figure out yourself and figure out who you are as a person. And you be like, okay, what I did was not very clever of me. What I allowed that person to do to me was not right. And you have to figure out yourself if you want to stay or leave that person because it may happen again. You may be blindsided a couple of times in a relationship because how you feel. Like people could really manipulate you a lot. And you may not even realize it until it's pointed out to you or until you just have time to be away from them. Being away from them meaning that like y'all broke up, y'all had took a break, or you just taking time to just realize like, wait, did I really do that? Like, is this person really telling the truth? Like until y'all probably like have an argument or something. You won't realize that until like y'all have an argument and you just all the emotions coming back, all the memories coming back, you just like, okay, what the heck? But yeah. So yes, I do think that people may, when it comes to relationships, it could be like a little bit overboard. But I say, far as like um a friendship relationship, if you're noticing the person, like your friend, is being blindsided or not realizing the things that is happening in their relationship and you're witnessing it, yes, point it out to them. But it's so much you could do. If they don't listen, they're not getting it. People have to learn sometimes from their own mistakes. So let them figure it out on their own and them to realize like, okay, I deserve better. I know this was not the best decision I made. I know I could have made a better decision than this. But yeah, I say give them some time to figure it out themselves. As far as putting a relationship over a friendship, this is a big issue for this is like a big issue I just seeing like overall like I said, people really are blindsided. Um, especially in the beginning stages of like a relationship. In the beginning, you can be really blindsided. So it's not even that they're putting their romantic relationship over a friendship relationship. It's just that they're really in love right now and they're not seeing it. One day they'll probably realize that what they're doing is not right and they may apologize for their behavior and what they allowed. One day they might not. We just gotta let that play out and see how it goes. As far as you, give that person some time and some space. And yeah, I just feel like this is a lot. Like people would pick their romantic relationship over a friendship any day, especially when they're in love. Because even though people could be there for you, like as a friend, your friends could be there for you, but it's a different type of love when it's a romantic relationship. When it comes to being in a romantic relationship, you're in love. They get to hold you, comfort you, and you have to also think about far as like being sexually active with that person. When two people are skin to skin, is deep. Like that affection is deeper than a regular friendship. That connection is that bond is different. So I don't. They will always choose their romantic relationship over their friendship, just because friendships sometimes friends come and go. Just like romantic relationships do come and go too. Like I can say that relationships come and go, but people are quick to turn on their friends. And as far as being in a romantic relationship, especially if you benefiting from the person, yeah, I don't know. If you benefit from the person, you won't always be able to count on them. Like it's sometimes where you could count on your partner more than you could count on your friend for certain things. As far as like money, comforting you and stuff like that. So if y'all have that, if the friendship is to where you was able to comfort that person, on financial wise, emotional wise, um, and stuff like that. Then if you was able to do all of that for the friendship, and just like how a romantic relationship, just like how their romantic relationship, then and they still is switching up on you, I don't know. Causing a rift between both, I feel like after they figure out that they were being blindsided and allowing that person to just treat them and mistreat them and manipulate them in a way, once they stop being blindsided and realize that they were being blindsided, because you won't know at the time. Once they realize and stop being blindsided, they will put a divide. They will make sure that they keep the relationships separate, romantic relationships and friendships separate. That is what my biggest advice for today's video is, to keep them separate. That is only how I can say it. Like the person needs to, that person needs to put both in place, set rules, boundaries for both friendships and romantic relationships. Their partner, your partner, should not be worried about your friendships. Meaning they shouldn't, you should be able to check your partner and be like, me and you are in a relationship. This between me and you. I should be able to have I should be able to have friends and connection with people outside of our relationship. I should be able to have a life, not just be in a relationship. This is not my life. My life is just not surrounded by you. It shouldn't be, in my opinion. I don't think relationship, you need to be able to be friends with people outside of your relationship, because that relationship, you're going to get tired of that relationship. You're going to get tired of being around that person all day, every day. You're going to want to break from that person. And if you don't have nobody outside our relationship, who you going to go to? You're not going to have nobody to go to but your partner. So you need to have connections outside. You need to have some type of friendships outside of your partner, of your romantic relationship. But once they realize and stop being blindsided, they're going to be able to put that person in place and check them. Like, look, you shouldn't be worried about my friendships, because at the end of the day, it's me and you. Be able to let them know and set up boundaries about that. So then I'm gonna get into my point as far as like is there like a pressure into like hanging around people that are in a relationship because now you're in one? People, once they get in a relationship, they feel like they need to only hang out with people that are in relationships because that would keep them from, going out to cheat and stuff like that. I feel like this is crazy. You should be able to hang out with people whether they're in a romantic relationship or not. Hanging around with somebody who was in a relationship is not going to keep that person from not cheating on you. You cannot force a person to only hang out with people who are in a relationship. Like, you may think that, oh, if I get him or her to only hang out with people who are in a relationship, that means that, oh, if they hang out with people who are in a relationship, that means they're gonna respect our relationship. They're gonna know like certain things they can and cannot do. It's cool to hang out with people who are in relationships because they may understand where you're coming from sometimes in certain situations better than the person who is single. But to only want to hang out with people and hang out with people that's in a romantic relationship is just ridiculous. Like, it is crazy. Not everybody's going to be in a relationship because while at the same time while you're in a romantic relationship. So for you to not be friends with a person anymore or try to cut that person off because you're in a relationship, you're in a romantic relationship now and they're not, is ridiculous. I just feel like that is so crazy. It's not gonna keep that person from cheating on you. It's not gonna do anything. If that person's gonna cheat and mess around, they're gonna do that regardless if they have they have friends that's in a romantic relationship or not. They're gonna do that regardless. People gonna do what they want regardless. I just need people to understand that. Like, you cannot prevent a person or try to keep a person from not cheating. Like, if they want to cheat, they're going to cheat. Like, if it's a real friend, they should be able to respect certain things that y'all cannot do together anymore because you're in, they know that you're in a relationship. They know you can't, you know, do certain things. But then again, you should be able to still hang out with other, like if y'all going out and it's a group, if y'all going out and you're hanging out with a group of females, if guys are going out together and you're hanging out with a group of females, they should be able to understand like, okay, you should still be able to hang out with, people of the opposite gender because you should be able to control yourself. Just same way around. Like, girls should, if you're dating a girl, she should be able to hang out with, the opposite sex because she should be able to control herself. You shouldn't think like, oh no, that person needs to hang out with, only females, or he needs to only hang out with only dudes, and they need to be in a relationship. No, they should be able to control themselves. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna still find a way to cheat. Rather who they hang out with and type of person that they are. Like, you think that person gonna influence them to cheat? Could be, but they should be able to have some type of control of themselves. Their friend might encourage them to cheat, but he's not forcing you to cheat. He's not forcing her to cheat. So yeah, think about that. Also, what do I think about having friends while in a relationship? So that kind of already earlier, like I said you should be able to have friends outside of your romantic relationships. Is it appropriate to have friends of the opposite gender as a close friend? So our relationship is different. Some people have rules in a relationship that already probably established that, like, my lady can't have male friends, or my man my man can't have friend female friend, have that rule or whatever in place. But for those people, those romantic relationships where that was never a rule, and you may just think that it's obvious that okay, they should already know that once you get in a romantic relationship that you shouldn't have it, you shouldn't be close with someone of the opposite gender. No, it's not clear. If that was never established from the beginning, that that will make you uncomfortable, then yeah. But then again, I just feel like it's dumb. Like I said, the person's gonna cheat regardless. And is it appropriate? Like, yes, it's appropriate up until a certain point. Once boundaries are crossed, like if it's too friendly, if it's coming like too friendly, and it seems like it's more than a friendship, and it seems more like romantic, then I feel like then it's like okay, you need to establish boundaries. You cannot be, touching up on them a certain way because we are in a relationship. That should be clear of what they can do and stuff like that. If you're in a romantic relationship and your partner is friends with someone, close friends with someone of the opposite gender. That should be clear. Rules should be declared that certain things is off limits. Like, yeah, I know that you've been friends with this person before me and you got together, but you need to know that I need to meet this person, and y'all can't be like going out on friendly dates and stuff if I don't know where y'all going and who else is going to be there and stuff like that. And yeah, like certain things just need to be established in boundaries. Like communication is key. You need to communicate with your partner. And don't make it weird, because if it's weird tension when y'all around them, then it's obvious. It's going to be obvious that it's more than just a friendship. Okay? So it could sometimes be appropriate, depends on the type of romantic relationship. It depends on what kind of romantic relationship. Like if y'all have boundaries or not in your relationship or not. But it's always good to, establish boundaries and things that you don't like and things that you do like. Next, how can you manage your friendship from romantic relationships? Like I said, establish boundaries, establish what you like and what you're not gonna like. Like, it's just simple like that. Like, you should be able to check your partner, just like you should be able to check your friend. And again, also with like how do you manage your romantic relationship from your friendships? Like that goes with the next thing I'm about to talk, the next point I'm about to make. Like, can your girl or can your man be friends with your friends? So like these are the type of boundaries I'm talking about. Like, okay, we get in a relationship and you introduce me to your friends. That don't mean I be close with your friends, the people you know for a very long time. That no. You keep your like that's the only way I could think of. Keep your romantic relationship and your friendships separate. You have to keep them separate. There's no way you should be your man. Yeah, there's no way your man or your lady should be cool with your friend that you have for a long time. Not at all. I don't even think they should be like friends with each other on social media. Sometimes you may want them to be friends with each other on social media so you could spy on them. Sometimes also they could spy on them for you, make sure that they doing everything right. But that's how things happen. That's how, because guys will still try to hit on your girl. Females will do the same thing. They'll still try to hit on your man secretly, try to do it. And by liking their pictures, commenting on their pictures, sending them messages, and they'll secretly try to hit on them without you even knowing. But if you keep it separate, you give them no opportunities to even go around each other. Like, the only time you hanging out with that person is if I'm around. You don't even hang out with it. You don't need to even hang out with that person. When I go hang out with my friends, you don't need to be there. You go hang out with your friends. That's the type of relationship. It should be like that. But sometimes some relationships like to mix it like once you introduce them to your friends, and they start to think that that's their friend. At the end of the day, that's not your friends. That's your partner's friends. They introduce you to them so you could feel comfortable, but not so you can become friends with them. Keep it separate. You should not be friends with them on social media. That person should not be liking their pictures on social media or commenting under their pictures or any of that sort. They shouldn't have their number. They shouldn't have nothing. Because that is not like, even if they have them on social media, they should not like the pictures. They should not comment. But they shouldn't have their number. That is one thing they should not have. They should not have their number. Mm-mm. They should not have their number. They should not have their number. Because you're just setting yourself up for possibly for your friend to try to talk to your girl lady. I'm sorry. You just shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. I don't think so. So that's how I say that answer both of the questions: how you should manage your friendships, and is it appropriate for them to be having each other on social media? No, it's not appropriate. No, it's very out of line. And keep it separate. Just keep all of your romantic and your friendships separate. So, like I said, that was the advice of today's video. Keep them separate. Like, comment, and share, and I'll see you in the next.